Hello crew, welcome to your language arts lesson for the week. This is the one you guys should be watching on Tuesday. Hold on, now I'm double guessing myself. Yes, this is the movie you should be watching on Tuesday. All right, so today we are going to be talking about Article 17 of the UDHR. You need your book, and your packet. That looks like this. All right, so let's take a look here. So lesson 27 starts on page 25 in your book. So I'm going to go ahead and show the slideshow to you guys. It's going to be a little bit different this time, but it will still work out. Okay, so let's take a look here. So our learning targets for this lesson are: I can answer questions about an article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by referring to the text, and I can determine the main ideas and summarize an article of the Universal Declaration of Rights. Okay, let's go on here. So we're going to be making connections between the UDHR and Los Higos, which was the last chapter that we read. So as you remember, we were quoting accurately from the text before and when we wrote our summary. So in this task, you will have 10 minutes to look over the UDHR text and Los Higos in the Esperanza Rising to answer the question: which human rights have been threatened in Los Higos? When you find an instance in this text, record the number of the article, and then it goes on a sticky note. Let me show you guys what I am talking about. I'm going to stop the slideshow for a second. Okay, so in your packet that you guys picked up yesterday on Monday, you should have had a little thing of sticky notes in there that looks like this. I want you guys to take those sticky notes and stick them right in the front of your cover. Okay, we're going to be using those. So you're going to find the Los Higos chapter, which starts on page 39. And then you're going to look for instances where human rights were violated. So like in the past chapter on page 36, Miguel was talking to Esperanza and he said, "My father and I have lost faith in our country. We were both born servants here. And no matter how hard we work, we will always be servants." So on that one, I put on my sticky note 23, because remember Article 23 was worker rights. And he was saying because he was born a servant, he'd always be a servant. Where we know Article 23 tells us that we have the right to choose our job. So his human right was being violated. So you're going to do that through this whole chapter of Los Higos. You're going to go through and find human rights that were violated, write the number on the sticky note, and put it there. We are going to have discussions about these in our meeting today, so make sure you have them marked. Go ahead and pause the video and get working on that. It should take you about 10 minutes. If it's taking you more than 10 minutes, then stop where you are and just go on. All right, you guys, welcome back. As I said, we are going to discuss those that you marked in our meeting today. Now we are going to discuss Article 17 of the UDHR. So I want you guys to turn in your book to page 43. Okay, let's see here. Mama Abluita and Esperanza slept in the servants' cabins. They really didn't sleep much, but they didn't cry either. They were numb, as if encased in a thick skin that nothing could penetrate, and there was no point in talking about how it had happened. They all knew that the uncles had arranged the fire. So it's important that you guys understand that in this chapter, Esperanza's house was deliberately burned down, and that this threatens human rights and goes against many articles of the UDHR. So now we are going to watch a video. Just 1 second here. All right, so let's talk about that video for a second. In the video, what do you think you'll see in this article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? So the video shows things that people own. What are some things that you own? Clothes, books, pencils, video games. So I want you guys to turn to page 25 in your packet. This is Article 17 of the UDHR, and it says that everyone has the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property rights. What do you think this article is about? What is the gist of this article? Right, it's about the right to own property. So I want to point out that it says his. Whenever they make official documents like this, he is often used to mean a person. So although it says he, it is referring to all people, or it says his, it's not just referring to men over women. It's all people. All right, so let's go to our next slide here. So we are now on page 26 in our packet. And number one was, what is the gist of the article? And we said it was owner rights, the right to own things. And then number two, it says use the context as a clue to the meaning of the word association. Write what you think it means. So in part one of Article 17, it says everyone has the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others. What do you think association means? Go ahead and write that on line 2. So the definition of association, this is going to be for number 3. You're going to say, were you close? So whatever you wrote, is it close to what I say? A group of people organized for a joint purpose. Was yours close to that? If it was, circle yes. If it wasn't, circle no. So how should we put part 1 into our own words? This is question 4. I think it sounds like this. Everyone has the right to own property by themselves or with other people. Everyone has the right to own property by themselves or with other people. Okay, so now we are going to go to question 5. It says, read aloud with your partner. We're going to pretend I'm your partner today. Everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is deconstruct this sentence. Okay, so when we do a language dive, first we read the sentence. We talk about what we think it means and how it might help us understand our focus question. So we read aloud, everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. So what do we think it means? Well, we already said that we think it means everyone can own property by themselves or with other people. All right, so now we're going to underline. So let's take a look here. We're going to underline everyone in blue. So we're taking the sentence apart chunk by chunk. We figure out what each chunk means and why it's important. Let's talk about the first chunk of the sentence. Everyone. Highlighting language can sometimes help us notice important structures and patterns. Underlining everyone in blue, or if you have whatever other colors you have, just do 2, okay? So, who is this sentence about? We underlined everyone. So it's about all the people in the world. Can you smile at everyone in your house? Now we're going to do the next section. Has the right. Has the right. Underline has the right in red and on your note catcher. So what does everyone have? What does this chunk tell us? The right. This chunk tells us more about everyone, what right everyone possesses, what everyone has just because he or she is human. It's their right. So our next one is to own property alone. So what does everyone have? To own property alone. What's another way to say alone? By yourself. What property do you own alone? Some of you might say your backpack, or some of you might say your bed, something that just you owns. As well as. What's another way to say as well as? And also, plus, in addition. And then lastly, we have in association with others. This is the 5th and final chunk. Think about this sentence so far. What are the 2 ways everyone has the right to own property? That's right, alone and with others. By using chunks to talk about their own lives, you can help figure out the meaning of sentences in chunks. What property do you own in association with others? Some of you might think, well, me and my brothers share a video game. Me and my sister share dress-up clothes. Those are things that you own in association with other people or with other people. Good job, you guys, figuring out this sentence. So another way to look at it is like this. Let's put them all back together again into a sentence, and let's see how playing with the chunks adds to our understanding of the meaning of the sentence and our guiding question. Let's see how reconstructing helps us understand how English works. Let's read the sentence together. Everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. So question 6, why did we underline everyone in blue and the remaining chunks in red? What if we remove everyone? So let's go ahead and label this. On your note catcher, I want you to put an S by everyone and then a P by the stuff you underlined in red. So the S is our subject and the P is our predicate. All right, let's go to the next question. So let's fill this out. Use the frame to talk with your partners, which you guys don't have partners, so pretend you're talking to me, about Article 17 and 23 in the UDHR. So everyone has the right to what? What was Article 17 about? The right to own property. So everyone has the right to own property as well as work, because that was Article 23. So I should say everyone has the right to work as well as own property. So that should give you up to number 7. All right, let's look closely at Article 17. This one says everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others, and no one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. What do you think arbitrarily means? I cannot talk today. Let's take a look. So arbitrarily means based on random choice or personal whim, rather than a reason or a system. So based on random choice, rather than a system. Based on random choice, rather than a system. So you can go ahead and write that for number 8. Based on random choice, rather than a system. Let's look at question number 9. What does deprived mean? Okay, let's look at our sentence. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. What do you guys think that means? Not giving toys? Suffering a lack of something? Not allowed to play outside after 5 p.m.? Or D, suffering from having too much of something? Go ahead and pick your answer and we will discuss it in our meeting. Question 10. Which statement best represents part 2 of the article? Underline the correct answer. A, people have the right to take away what they want from others. B, people have the right to only own things alone. C, people have the right to own property. Or D, no one should have their property taken away without good reason. Which one do you think it is? Go ahead and select your answer and we'll discuss it in our meeting. 11. What nickname would you give this article? That's a good one. What do you guys think? Owner rights, the rights of owners, something along those lines. Number 12. What are the main ideas of Article 17 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Underline all the correct answers. So it's telling us there's more than one correct answer. Everyone has the right to own property. No one should touch the property of others. Everyone has the right to take any property they like. Or no one should have property taken away without good reason. So pick 2 of those. We will discuss them in our meeting. We're also going to discuss question 13 in our meeting. You need to find the 2 main ideas of Article 17 and your supporting details. Remember, supporting details are when we quote directly from the text. So make sure you guys are doing that. We will go over question 13 in our meeting where you guys can start your draft for your summary, which is question 14. You are going to write those drafts in the Google Classroom. All right, so that's it today. Please bring your packets to our meeting this afternoon where we are going to go over them and finish up this meeting and discuss what you guys need to do for your summary. See you guys later.